Now to an ABC News exclusive. Bernie Madoff is breaking his silence. The con man behind the biggest Ponzi scheme in history decided to speak out from his prison cell, and it is no surprise to us that one more time ABC's Barbara Walters got the big interview. She joins us now to tell us about it. And Barbara, Bernie has so much to say. But first, how did he seem to you personally?
Well, at times he was teary-eyed, but for the most part he was very composed. He has a little bit of a tic when he gets emotional. He is in the Butner Correctional Complex, which is a medium-security federal prison in North Carolina. He's with the general population. No cameras or tape recorders are allowed, but pens and paper are. And he told us, as you will hear, some very surprising things. In a 2-hour prison interview, Bernie Madoff told me that he is happier now than he's been in years. He said, quote, "I feel safer here than outside. I know I will die in prison, but I lived the last 20 years of my life in fear. Now I have no fear because I'm no longer in control of my own life." When I asked him if he missed his old life, he responded, "Hell no." Madoff acknowledges that he should be punished, and he realizes that he destroyed his family. He said that before he went to prison, during his 4 months in a New York jail, he did contemplate suicide, but didn't have the courage to do it. He says now he never thinks about suicide. Today he is in therapy and has learned to compartmentalize what he did. He works during the day, but rarely sleeps at night and has horrible nightmares, he says. I asked him if he was depressed, and he said, "Yes, but the fact that I am functioning troubles me a great deal. You can't do what I've done without guilt." As for his wife, Ruth, Madoff says that after his son Mark committed suicide last December, Ruth said to him, "Let me go." He says they have not seen or talked to each other since. He added, "Ruth doesn't hate me. She has no one." She told him that he had it easier in prison than she, saying, "You are sheltered in there. No one is judging you." About his victims, Madoff said, quote, "I understand why clients hate me. The gravy train is over. I can live with that. But the average person thinks I robbed widows and orphans. I made wealthy people wealthier." He says he does take full responsibility for his crimes, but he added, "Nobody put a gun to my head. I never planned to do anything wrong. Things just got out of hand. I don't believe I'm a bad guy or stupid." Today, the man who ran the largest Ponzi scheme in history calls himself a glorified bag boy, working in the commissary for $170 a month. So, you know, it seems that right now almost everybody in the Madoff family is writing a book. He says that he isn't. He also says that he's treated with respect, especially the younger people, and that they look up to him, which he says is wrong, that they do it for the wrong reasons. Interestingly, in the next cell is Jonathan Pollard. Remember him, the convicted Israeli spy? Yeah. And Madoff says that even though he has no visitors, he does have friends in prison.
Did he say if anyone else is guilty, he worked with anyone?
He says that his wife and sons knew nothing. He's been saying that before. But when he was arrested in 2008, he says the government said that he should, quote, "name names." But he refused, and he said, "I decided that I ruined enough lives, and it was my fault. I deserved to be punished. I deserved to go to jail." And he said that he was relieved to know that some of the investors that he's ripped off would get their principal back. But that remains to be seen.
Boy, that is just fascinating stuff. Barbara, thanks very much.
Thank you, George.